from comparing to the 90s to now, how do you feel about mixing styles and open styles when you're getting down? How has it evolved from what it was in the beginning all the way to now?
That's a good question, actually. I think the biggest way that it evolved is that it's even a question. Because back then it just was. We just did whatever. And now there's so many different defined styles that now it's come full circle to go back to combining the styles again, which is a beautiful thing. And I love the fact that we have so many defined styles. I think it's a beautiful thing, but I think it's also limiting. So I think one of the beautiful things about when me and PopTart got started is there was so much experimentation going on that we didn't really have to follow rules because everything was still being established. And then it came to a point that it got so dope that it was like, okay, that's it. That's all the moves now. And everything else is something else. But we got to play around at a time when it was just, you know, experimenting. We were making it up as it goes.
Well, I heard the question is two pieces. It's one day and the next day with that question. That okay, I'll put myself in this situation because the question you started with, the individualness, the individual styles. Well, what I have to say, because of when I came into it, I didn't see mixes of styles. I didn't see that. We had standard style, which was we all bonded by robot. That's number one for us in the Bay Area, Oakland, Richmond, San Francisco, all the way through the Bay Area. We really specialize in caring about the robot. And at the same time, on my chest you see 3 variations: Boogaloo, robot, and Shredder. Well, we consciously focused on that. But then when we get to you guys, well, it's a line that was crossed at a point in time before hip hop, as hip hop was coming into us here, and it was a conflict, y'all. I think a lot of you guys remember when they said rap wouldn't make it. I think y'all know about that past. I think y'all know that hip hop was only in a set of projects at a point in time being exploited and understood and figured out. So when it gets to us in the Bay Area, there's a line of emotions when we talk about dance. Sorry to say that, you know, at a point in time it wasn't each one teach one. With us as black young African Americans coming out these projects on the street, it was really tough at that time to share. So I guess I'm saying this to say that time takes care of everything, I guess. And what I have to say with the mixing of styles, they are needed. Reason I recognize that they're needed is because I was a strutter. And I was a strutter at a time where strutting was defined as what strutting was. Boogalooing was defined totally. You know what boogalooing is, period, point blank. East Oakland, North Oakland, West Oakland. So we were in tune with that. That's our culture. Now, I'm speaking a little bit more probably on this situation. Why? Because you asked a real big question, and that one question is a big, serious question. In today's time, it's okay to ask that question. Back in them days, that was not unheard of to even think about it. Because we were fighting for something with our dance. Yeah. We was fighting to be recognized as a force to be reckoned with, as black Americans. Poverty, brutality, police brutality, killings, low income, 12-story projects. So the reason you dance is totally different than mine. the reason I step out and look the way I look is for the reason I live, right? So I can't put you two together like that without being responsible for giving you what was before you got here, so you can have a choice. I think today we have a lot going on. It's beautiful. I respect it. I'm all in. But I also say we have to take the time out to use our 5 senses with that, because you have a lot. You have so much. You asked for it, you got it. You got the world now. You wanted it, you got it. But I refuse to sit here and tell any one of you guys, I don't care what you're doing, to downgrade yourself and your culture, your natural culture. Because what I'm doing here in City Dance is something I thought wasn't gonna happen. Why? Because it wasn't each one teach one. It was a borderline, black and white, issues, gay, all the rest of the situations. This is San Francisco. I was here.
Yeah.
I dealt with all that. My dance, it resembles all that. When I say my dance, I'm speaking for a whole culture of people. Trust me. I'm just one. But I'm saying all this to say, I want to hold y'all thing up, but I really want y'all to know that y'all culture that you naturally come first. Don't even think about turning down what your grandma and your mom gave you. Are you crazy? Just to fit in? So, I say that to say, the reason for that is you're going to run across a person like myself that when I saw you, I was happy because you came to San Francisco. It was so black for me. I seen all that. I wanted to see something else too. I didn't know it till I experimented. But I wanted to see something else too, and I got the chance to. So when you walk up to me, or you walk up to me, or you come on this floor like I seen today, that's why I'm feeling this. Dig deeper, dude, than just fitting in. Represent your culture. That's where the answer is at right there first. Your culture, who are you? Well, when I stand up, there's no doubt about it who the hell I am. I'm a mad strutter from my own street. Well, I expect the same thing out of you when you come and visit this city. I'm looking for information too. So I may be leading this thing that I call strutting, but that's only until my own people walk in here and show you that I'm really not all that. We are children of education. So, you can join the styles. I want to say, Tetris, I dance, man, if y'all see my Facebook, I'm going to just say it, that's Tetris on the picture with me in LA. He's one of the first kids out of LA to ever step on the stage with me and do various style of stepping / his style. So that's Tetris on that picture. But yes, you can mix styles, but respectfully respect your culture and bring that energy from your culture into whatever dance style you choosing to use. All right, so it's like a box of color crayons. You can pick whatever color you want, but do not lose your grip or you're gonna mess up on the lines. Every culture has a line. When I go to Hawaii and spend my money, I don't mean to take the mic like he don't know nothing, but I've been with 40-something years. Y'all made a mistake and gave me a job. And now I'm gonna do it. So, when I spend all my money that I done came and taught workshops and all this stuff, and I go all the way to Hawaii, and I run into a cat, and he come right out just like me. Dude, I just paid all this money to come over here to see it. Because this is the culture I came through. So, when I go to China, Japan, where I made a mistake, I'll tell you about that later. But those cultures, I watch Godzilla. I always want to talk to somebody that tell me, why didn't his ass get electrocuted by all the wires? Are they really there? So, we're talking about shared culture, right? It's not just dance. It's information in your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your mother, your brother, your sister, your everybody. It's not just one thing. It's the fruit. It's the fruit. It's the fruit of the flavor of the work that you're putting in. I might be going too far, but to answer your question, culture first. So when you see me strut, you're looking at myself. I did what I've done this long because when hip hop came, it was the thing. It was big. It was too big. Our people got flushed out. We didn't have a voice. But I refused to go away. That's what the problem is, right? Because I was saying, wow, all these different people are starting to come. They're doing the hammer, they're doing this and that, right? Okay, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to do my hair blue. I'm going to make sure I go audition. I'm going to go do everything. I'm doing things that OGs refuse to. They ain't doing all this. So this is the reason why I'm here now, because they won't do this. So, unless you give them a beer or some money. But listen, so I say all this to say, when hip hop kicked off, we didn't have a voice. Even though it was cracking in San Francisco, you people were finna be misled by just us joining forces without no ID. Our ID in San Francisco is that we do strut. We strut, we party swag, we got a whole lot of information here. And it's culturally bounded by most of the blacks until it goes down the highway to San Jose, San Francisco, Railroad City, and all the other cities where you got other cultures that joined in to the movement, the strutting. All right. So what I'm saying all this for is, I'm just only one person. If this one person did not believe that this dance that we was doing at a point in time was important as a ID or as a culture answer, then I wouldn't be here, and there'd be no strutter. I'm the only strutter walking around Fillmore. Everybody else walked away from it the day won their first trophy or whatever, and that was way back in 70-something. I was lonely in hip-hop, even though I had a lot of people around me. But it was important for me to sit there and do this, so when y'all get to situations like this, dig deeper. Damn, we in San Francisco. If y'all said, hey, what is you guys' culture? Who got an answer for it? So it was important for me to stick to my guns. I could have got into everything under the sun and claimed it, but it was important that I stay still for my people and for the culture. So when y'all do come, y'all can say, oh, I did learn some culture from San Francisco, because it's not just one. It's not just one, but there's an important one. Alright? Yeah, you can't put all the styles together.
You can't get to the question. First of all, that was beautiful. And every single word of it was correct. And I just want to say this. When I came up, still talking about that same question. When I came up, I started off a hip-hop dancer. And the reason why I gravitated towards hip-hop was because to strut, you had to really do exactly that. To pop, you had to really do exactly those things. And there were all these, so when I answered that question, it was about hip-hop and about house dancing. And the reason why I'm talking about both of those at the same time is because those back in the day were the free forms that now we call all style or whatever, but back in the day, if you wanted to be all style, so I didn't want to break and just follow those rules of breaking. I did some power moves, that's how I got my name GraVIDy for sure, but I didn't want to have to spin on my head or do a six-step if I didn't want to. And if I didn't do those things, people would say, yo, that's not breaking. So I said, okay, well, hip hop, I could do whatever I want. It was the umbrella that held all these different styles. You know, and that's why I really loved it. And house was also a wide open form, where house dancing wasn't doing the loose leg. House dancing was dancing with house music on. That's what house dancing started off as. And I feel that house dancing kind of took a turn for the academia, and now it came back full circle to just be wide open. And so if you are someone that wants to be all over the place and just do all these different styles, hip-hop's a great umbrella for you. Hip-hop's a great umbrella for you, yeah. And if you want to strut, like you said, if you want to pop, if you want to lock, you in a beautiful way have to learn from the OGs, because that's a very specific style. Yeah. And that's what he was speaking on, and I think what I was trying to speak on is hip-hop. So, but yeah, all these specific styles, you know, these OGs that made it up, they made it up and kind of closed the book a little bit and said, I mean, you know, and we can add to it a little bit, but if you want to talk about the history, I always try to get things from the source. So whenever I'm trying to learn a new style, I'm kind of always looking for the oldest person I know that does that style. You know, just because that's the closest to the source you can get. So if you are somebody that's, you know, I want to tuck, but I also want to hit the ground and spit on my face. What style is that? You know, that's hip hop to me. That's hip hop to me. You know, I know hip hop's kind of taken a turn to, when I say hip hop, almost everyone kind of thinks about choreography, which is weird to me from where I come from. And hip hop is choreography, but it's also freestyle. And it's also a little popping and a little breaking and a little everything. It really is supposed to be the umbrella that holds all these urban styles together. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, when I first came up, it was wide open when we danced hip hop. It was wide open. And then, you know, hip hop started getting these labels and people started even trying to put hip hop in a category. But it was never really a category. And now I feel and I hope that we're coming back to that. Because then there's no limits. Because I hate being told what to do. That's the only reason why I never call myself a breaker or a popper or this. But I try to learn from all those different disciplines and put it all together. So if you want to do whatever you want, hip hop's a great title for yourself. House is a great title for yourself. Or how about I'm a dancer? Yeah.
What exactly kept you interested in love with dance? Everybody goes through their whole. What exactly kept you interested in love with dance? Everybody goes through their phase. I don't know if I want to do it anymore. I'm going through stuff. I don't know exactly what exactly kept you doing it.
Oh my God, I didn't think there could be a better question than that one, but that one might be it right there.
What's the question?
Okay, so the question, actually I would give him the mic.
Repeat it?
Yeah.
So, what exactly kept you in love with dance and kept you interested in dance through the years?
All right. So I'm gonna say this. When music gets put on, I can't help but move. You know, and so I grew up at a time where when I first started off was the 80s, and we were doing the WAP. Remember the WAP? And the RoboCop and all these dances, and it was social dances, and to be a professional dancer, what was that? It was, we were all just dancing. And some people were good and some people weren't good, but there was no professional dancer. Now, the late 90s, or late 80s, early 90s started becoming professional urban dancers. And so we all started doing that, and a bunch of my friends started doing it, and then all of a sudden, they stopped dancing. I never understood that. And I had all these friends that were like, oh no, I stopped. You're still dancing? And I'm like, you're not? You know, and that kind of separates a lot to me, because some people, I think, got into dance maybe for the wrong reasons, you know, for the fame or for the girls or the boys or whatever, you know, and they wanted maybe for a different thing. And then when that was satisfied, they could walk away from dance. I can't walk away from dance. It's when music's on, I have to dance. That's it, period. So I'm never planning on stopping dancing ever. You know, So, and I think that the biggest thing, number one, I can't stop because I love music and dance. But also for me, being a teacher, I feel like it's my job. I feel it's your job to teach. Because when you've been through that era, and a lot of people fell off, and there's so few of us left, if we're not teaching that era, and no disrespect if you're 18 years old, but if you're 18 years old and you're trying to teach, you know, old punk styles, you know, that were developed in 75 or 80s, you know, and it's not really that close to the source, or 90s hip hop. You need to learn from somebody that danced in the 90s. So I feel, and I'm glad, I throw events, he throws events, and if it's not OGs putting it on, and all of you guys eventually are going to be an OG, trust me. So don't leave the scene. It's eventually going to be your job to teach and produce and throw events like this. You know, like this is a beautiful thing, and he's been around for a while too, and he knows it's his responsibility. Because if we're not doing it, who's going to do it? And who's going to do it right? You know, so that's why I still dance, because I don't have a choice. Why do you still dance?
Because I'm responsible for some actions that nobody was able to record back in 1977. It was undocumented dance, period, point blank. I was that person that seen it happen, period, point blank. I was that kid that was running around here with brims, afros, and all the rest of the stuff. And I can tell you, this picture that I'm talking about in my head didn't have neither one of y'all in it. Trust me. But there's a few people that's walking up and down the streets outside that's owning buildings and living in some of these complexes. They remember what we went through in the 70s. A lot of information was not there. It was the first time we ever seen Roots. That was a bad night for us. Do you think you want to learn how to dance after we just finished watching Roots? I don't think so. So, I'm saying all this to say, I'm being honest. I'm not going to downplay my culture just to fit in. I'm not going to do that. Because I'm responsible for what y'all hear. I'm saying it nice as I could because there's some other cats that chose, especially when they see me teaching and seeing me go out to different countries and coming back, sharing information and taking pictures with y'all on the internet and seeing that I'm doing things with this thing that we run this. But you running from right there, dude. You ain't even sharing with the kids. I mean, you know, man, I did that, man. I'll get back into it when I'm ready. Well, that window of opportunity, these kids graduated every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So, before y'all got here, I had to deal with the year 2000 kids. I had to deal with the 90s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? I tried to retire 4 times. How I got on Facebook, y'all wanna know that? I didn't do that. Slick Dog did it. Called me up, told me, Lon, just push this button and whoop, 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 and man, I'll take care of everything. You gonna be alright? And next thing you know, I ended up on Facebook. But what I like about Facebook, you look on there and you can tell I ain't uploaded nothing. I got more stuff on the internet than anybody. And I didn't put none of it on there. Because you know why? I told everybody that's around me, and I'm telling y'all too. I ain't. You do it. You know why? I'm doing this. I got too much other stuff to focus on. This is y'all world. This is y'all time. Y'all know how to upload this stuff. Y'all know how to crop my picture and make me look better. I'm not buying no equipment. I ain't buying nothing. Y'all got the nice cameras and all that stuff. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna cut mine I'm going down the documentation. So this conversation right here, yeah, right. I'm getting mine in. I got a lot of homeboys that's in prison. I got a lot of homeboys out there. As y'all go out this door and go around the corners, they on the corner sleep on the tents. I know them dudes. I know them. And guess what? Some of them dudes are just as raw as me. They taught me. They showed me how to do this. This is why I came back to San Francisco to teach, because this is where I got it from. I've been asked to go to different countries and stay, housed, and all that. I turned all that down, but I chose to come back to City Dance. Because this is where my part of the culture come from, and I knew that there was great teachers in here. I've been on this cat. I've been sitting there working with him for a while. Doc Lock, man, he was, this man right here was really a real close person to me. Fortunately, I met him in a project. Way back. I mean, I was coming through the projects on my way getting ready to do something stupid, and ran into the guardian angels. Oh, yeah, I don't know if y'all know what that is, but these are the people that protect the older people and all that stuff. Well, I was in the projects, and all I knew at 12 something is thug time. And as soon as I came downstairs to go handle my business, I walked through the tunnel and I seen a whole bunch of red berets. I'm like, oh shit. So I said, let me see that, let me see what, and I started hitting. You get off, you dance too, yeah, man, I do this too. I was ready to go commit a crime. Yeah, and that too. I mean, I got my own, I'm 40 something, I didn't hit my head a few times, but I keep trying to come back, you guys, but I'm just saying, regardless of anything, I want you guys to know that with this thing that we're doing here at City Dance, we're conscious about what we're doing. We haven't even had a meeting, but each one of us can see somebody making a move. And the move look right. That being right there. Y'all know who that is, right? I call it Sugarfoot. I have never been beat in a battle in my day. See, I don't even know what I'm doing battle in 2016. I'm just trying to see how my heart gonna go. I know I get off a certain way, and I know, you know what I'm saying, I be bluffing y'all too, truthfully, because I seen a whole lot of OGs that did that. They did it when I was little. I was like about this big with an afro and a brim. And it's cats that used to come out, and they would come at me. And, what's up, Lon? And they just pose. It was about posing back then. You could scare somebody out of dancing back in the day. Right? And that's really what strutting is. We punk you. We actually try to punk you. And I don't mean disrespectfully, but I don't want you to dance. Now you guys get a chance. Everybody spin a bottle and he go and then he go and then he go. You know damn well he done lost a long time ago. Right? So our dance and our time and our culture had rules that had got lost when hip hop came in. And that's what kind of got me fighting this fight and still dancing, which was the original question, why I'm still dancing. Because a lot of rules that go to our dance culture had got lost, and I wanted to make sure that they got put back, and I wanted to make sure some of the people got documented. I wanted some of the things that we did with the top hats and the brims to be able to be found with one click of a finger, because I mean, the truth, all the stuff you see on the internet, right now, for real, except a few, I'll tell y'all that in my next conversation. But most of the stuff y'all see on the internet from our circuit, from the BRS circuit, that whole line, is based off of jealousy. Trust me, a lot of cats would have never put that stuff on the internet. I had to bluff them and like, what's up? Yeah, I'm talking to. See, when I dance on the internet, when I dance on anything, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking about the dudes that did that to me. They see me. They're typing little things on the internet. They want to attack y'all because they're sitting at home and not involved with today's time. So I have to step between y'all. It's my own people, like, you better leave them alone. I'm doing that. him. So that's what's going on, and that's what's keeping me in the dance. Y'all keeping me in the dance.
I'm gonna just say one last thing too. Stay on real quick, since you like to say that. All right. I just hit 40, by the way. Yeah! I know PopTart finished 40. So I'm gonna say we actually look like we're in pretty good shape. Right? So I'm gonna say this. I have a lot of friends that were doing amazing flips back in the day and don't look like this anymore. So if you want to stay in shape, dance. Yeah. How are we doing on time? Joseph? How are we doing on time? 10 minutes. Do we have another question?
Do we see a dance?
Oh, we're always ready to dance. I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, if you guys want to put some music on later, I'm sure or whatever, we'll dance. But anyone else have a question? Yes.
My question's about where you guys dance and when you guys first started, because for me it's, nowadays we go to studios or clubbing still there, or you just go out to the parking lot and practice. I want to know about where you practice, in your home, in a parking lot. If you went to clubs, tell me about those clubs,
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I actually get asked that a lot. And I'll tell you, you guys are so blessed. You will never truly know until you've busted your face open on concrete trying to learn to flip, because nobody had mats. And we literally, like people say, we from the streets. We're hip hop dancers, we're from the streets. It sounds really corny, but we danced in the streets. We really, really did. Maybe we'd be at like somebody's house on carpet and try and do a flip there, or on grass or something like that, but we just went where there was room. We go over someone's house and then their grandma will kick us out because the music's too loud, so then we gotta end up outside anyways. So the fact that, and you guys have these big, beautiful mirrors, if one friend had those like little tiny thin mirrors, whoo! You had 19 cats trying to get in that one mirror, trying to see themselves scoot over. So you guys are definitely blessed, but I'll say this, the mirror is the most beautiful thing and the most cursed evil thing you could ever have in dance. I'm gonna tell you that right now, okay? The beautiful thing about a mirror is it'll show you what you look like. But before, when we didn't know what we looked like, we asked our friend. And I feel that made this community and made this weird dancer bond. Like I had friends I always practiced with because they were my mirror. And I would try something and be like, yo, how was that? And my good friend would be like, yo, that was whack. Damn, okay. I'm never gonna do that again. And then every once in a while they'll be like, yo, that was fresh. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that. So I feel like not having a mirror and dancing in front of your friend and being like, yo, we're going to the club tomorrow. Like, is this all right? And them telling you like that back and forth. Because now I come to practices and it's kind of weird for me sometimes because everybody's looking at the mirror facing the same direction, right? And nobody's really talking to each other or asking each other opinions very often because they feel they're going to get the opinion from the mirror. And that's all fine and dandy. I'm not saying don't use a mirror, but I'm saying use your friend, man. That's how we did it. Use your friend. And the other place that where we danced is, so I started my professional career. I was about 15 years old, and I say professional when you start getting paid and being on stages and dancing for artists. That's the way I look at it. If there's not money in your pocket, like no one's paying you to dance, to me you're not a professional yet. If someone gives you $1, welcome to being a professional dancer. You're good enough to where someone gave you $1. But so because there were such few dancers at 15 years old, they were letting us in 21 and over clubs. So it was a very different time. We were superstars back then because there was very few dancers. Now everyone's a dancer. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we danced in the clubs, but just because there wasn't a lot of dancers, and dancers brought other people. So if the club back in the day, that's where all the dancers were, all the regular people would go there and drink their drinks, and the bar would make money while they watched us dance. So we were like a hot commodity. You know, people used to pay us to go to their clubs. And I was underage, you know, hopefully they don't get in trouble. You know, those clubs are long and gone. But yeah, so we danced in the streets, in the parking lot, at people's grandma's house, in a little tiny sliver of a mirror, and that's where we danced. How about you?
Yeah, well, real quick, I won't stay too long on that one. We dance all over the place. Most of the time in the middle of the project, somewhere up on the roof, and for sure in the house. I mean, first of all, you gotta, these questions y'all asking, you gotta ask them in a year. What year are you talking to me about? Because I got one for every year. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the issue is right now with a lot of information being shared, that no one is taking the time out to say what moment they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You might be, like I was just talking up here, I was talking to y'all, but I was conscious about what I was doing, but I also knew that I was going to get back to you and tell you that when you ask a question, kind of put your timeline on that question, because some of us have done so many things that we were living in a moment, right? We aware, matter of fact, I was over here crying. I gotta be careful because I cry easy. When he started reading my Bible, I didn't give him all that information. He dug it up, I don't know how. But shit, I've been busy since I was in 5th grade. And that was a lot of anger, truthfully. Because we didn't have a voice in hip hop. I have a lot of respect for hip hop. I went into hip hop to show my respect to hip hop. And I chose not to break dance because, first of all, I had a responsibility of a whole undocumented black inner city culture that was not documented. I was their baby. I'm the baby. I'm Lil Ronnie. So, all that gang, see, y'all call it dance, it's gang for us. I'm sorry. You feel what I'm saying? We don't teach everybody. Nope. It's like 1 out of 10 can make it to this. It's really like bottom line. That's why it's not so progressing. It's hand-picked. It's special. It's special to us. It's special to the community. Our grandmothers, if they saw y'all in here right now, and they're like, they don't know what they're doing. And then I gotta hear it. Lonnie, what you got those kids up there doing? They ain't know what they're doing. Our grandmothers know what struggling is. Because they helped us make our time machines and spaceships and shit. That was their doing it for it. That was their Christmas lights we used to win talent shows and stuff. See, we come from a talent show era. I come from a talent show era. One record, one step, win or lose. In that one record, if you're using the Isley Brothers, that one record, 1978, Fight the Power or whatever record you chose, you win, lose, or draw with that one record. See, we had time to focus on one record at a time. That's what we did as Boogaloo Robots and Strutters. This is without hip hop, this is without tutting, this is without waving, this is without gliding, this is straight up. I don't know if some of y'all see me move, but I dance in angles. There's so much information in them angles because of the projects. We dance the curves of the streets, and we move and we make signs and stuff with our bodies that demonstrate our walk. So, I'm saying all this to say that this culture today is asking a lot of good questions, but they're not understanding the question that they're asking need to be narrowed down to a timeline and a period so you can get more valid answers out of the people you asking. You asking me a question, see how I can run all over the place? See now if you said, what did you do in the 5th grade, Lonnie? Now I can be more specific. You know what I'm saying? You asked me what I think about hip hop. Well shit. I'm mad. They didn't tell me they was changing the name. They didn't let all our people out. And we ain't got no more talent shows. The funk bands is going away to drum machines. The mixer that came in. And now the DJ is the man. Now I can't even get a girl no more. And now this nigga rap. And now I gotta step my game up. I can't do no shows because now all the shows is called break it's a breaker, they run to the judge. No, that ain't fair. He ain't no breaker. And then I gotta go back and shake their hand and be like, man, that's cool, man. This, that, man, I'm out of here. So, you know what I'm saying? My reasons is a whole lot of reasons. So narrow it down. When you're talking to some of us OGs, because we got so many different emotions, I can be happy 1 minute and crying the next 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm not happy all the time. I'm mad. My dad got a lot of mad in it. You know what I'm saying? So, when you come to learn something from me, I'm actually telling you the truth. You come to learn some shit to fight with. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot to fight up against. Poverty and all kinds of things. And there's so much information in my movement and my mentality about what I'm doing. That's why I'm okay with not being able to pop. I can pop. See, a lot of you cats be like, PopTart distract. I just chose to stay in my lane that I had the true time to master. I do everything else. I do touch, wave, tick, that. I do up rock. I'm the best up rocker in the project. You know what I'm saying? But I refuse to disrespect New York though. See, now I got a conscious issue. I'm from West Coast. See all these problems I got? I'm in the house worried about putting on a record. See, we used to plan with stuff. We the children of the funk. Sorry. Frisco, Fillmore, Oakland, we the children of the funk, baby. San Jose, all of us, we love that funky shit. We grew up on that stuff. So, just to hear that taken away from us, then we had to be subject to a rap record. Well, me, I'm conscious about, what if I go to New York? If I go to New York, is they gonna get mad if I put their record on and turn it on 45 speed and start stepping on it? I was always conscious of that. I said, you know what? Well, then I'm not gonna disrespect their stuff. I'm gonna show New York the respect I got for them, and I'm gonna go ahead and do what they say. They teach me. What do I have to do? You have to audition if you want to be in hip hop. Okay, I'll audition then. Okay, you have to cut your hair to be high tops. Okay, I'll go get my hair cut then. Okay, you gotta wear these pants and go spend some time with a few brothers that's giving them knowledge. Okay, I'll go do that then. Okay, you need to go to City College and go walk with X-Plan. They coming this week. Okay, I'll go do that then. See, I did everything hip hop asked me to, so they wouldn't be able to say a damn thing to me when it came time for me to tell what I had to say. Alright, so do your job. Do what they say, so you can say what you want to say. So right now, truthfully, I'm in a good place, in a yeah, I told you place. I told you, because there was some lady, we had a show in 1986 at that big, the big symphony theater with all that glass around it on Venice. Okay, let me tell you something. Have y'all ever seen that place? I'm one of the only kids out the projects that ever go up in there and get down. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately. And I'm telling you, we tore it up. We got off. We made all those old white people in their meat coats. They had us on a big old screen like we was in outer space. We got on all our uniform stuff. We stepped in me, Faisal, and Dan. Like, hey, blood, look, nigga, we on screen. We stepped. So, we see all the people screaming. I mean, they 90, 80 years old. That was Toby right there. I said, you know what, this ain't just for us. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. I ain't letting this go. We're gonna keep this together. We're gonna have to. Why? Because the other kids need to learn this so they can have the same fun I'm having, because I'm over here cracking up at people. I'm making money. I'm funky as I want to be. Why? Because the funk is unlimited. Ain't no stopping the funk. That's the truth. So put your funk in the air if you're funky, and make sure you get there. Because this right here, hip hop, is a big umbrella of everything. I saw the movie Breaking. When that movie came out, I was so upset. Why? Because it brought people together and I didn't want to be together yet. You gotta remember, I got raised by some dudes that told me, no, don't do that. I was ignorant at a point by other dudes. That each one teach one thing. I remember I said that in a joking way. Well, that kind of like, look at how many people here now. If it wasn't for y'all,
we wouldn't have shit. Such a good point. Just to address that, so I was talking about, when I answered that question, like I said, the late 80s and early 90s. And I know we're running short on time, but because of this situation on this panel, I think this is a really unique opportunity to just say something. I just want to say this point is strutting and breaking and popping. They have these cultures, and sometimes they can let everybody in. And that's because it was made in this neighborhood and these people were making it, and that's okay. But there came somebody like me that didn't want to conform. And that's okay too. And I'll tell you, that is why the word hip hop came to be. And you should all be proud of that. You know, if you represent hip hop, you represent finally bridging those gaps. Because before it was really segregated. You couldn't be a popper and really go kick it with a locker necessarily. You couldn't be both. Like, and that's why everyone got so mad when the term pop locking started being like, those are two totally different things. Like, what are you talking about? They're and those, that was like a disrespectful thing that the media did to try and understand when they did not understand. So what I want to say is, I always tell my students, I come from the best era of hip hop, and the reason I say that is because we were frustrated, we wanted to make something new. And we didn't want to break their rules out of respect. They said, no, it's got to be like this. Okay, that's cool. We're going to make hip hop. And we literally made hip hop. We literally, all of us, and Mos Def said it in one of his songs, we are hip hop. And we are still making hip hop right now. So especially all you young people, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, because if you're doing something that is in your mind and in your soul, like, yo, this is disrespectful, this is whack, this is negative, but my personality is positive, you are creating a negative thing, and you are changing hip hop. If you are a negative person, and you are dancing negative, that's real hip hop. That's beautiful. Because sometimes hip hop ain't, you know, sunshine and rainbows and stuff like that. Sometimes people are dealing with issues and they're coming out very aggressive, and that's real. But if you are happy, and don't be afraid to be happy, because everyone else is, you know, like getting bucked, and you're like, oh, I want to be like that because that's hip hop. No, hip hop is what you are, and you're supposed to express that. So I feel like right now I feel like sometimes there's pressure for the young people to conform. And you feel like, yo, if I want to be hip hop, I gotta conform to what hip hop is. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard, because you are hip hop. You go make that shit. We did. We didn't want to be put into any category, so we're gonna do everything, and then all of a sudden there was hip hop. So that's all I'm gonna say. Much respect to all these different individual styles, and I understand why they closed the book on stuff, and I understand that it was a neighborhood thing, and it was a gang thing sometimes. So, and I respect that, and that's why we have hip hop. And you guys are hip hop, so please continue to do that shit, but be real with yourself. Yeah.